Okay. Now to first question, I will discuss from the point defect. Suppose such kind of pictorial diagram is there, x plus y minus, x plus y minus. Next line, it is y minus blank. Then it is y minus x plus. Then in the third line, x plus blank, x plus y minus, and in the last line y minus x plus y minus x plus. Then what kind of defect is this? What kind of defect is this? Now for such kind of question, calculate, see that equal number of cation and anion is missing. It is the place for x plus and it is the place for y minus. So equal number 1 x plus and 1 minus is vacant. What is the name of such kind of defect? This is Schottky defect. So this kind of question is there in the sample paper also on the last given on it. Explain with a graph the variation of molar conductivity of a strong electrolyte with dilution. This is one question. Number 2 is explain with a graph the variation of molar conductivity of a strong electrolyte with dilution. So molar conductivity versus dilution for strong electrolyte. Straight line with negative slope. Yes. So it is a question not for a single marks. It is a question of 2 or 3 marks. Okay. So for this you have to elaborate to somehow extent. You have to elaborate it, mentioning the equation that lambda m equal to lambda m infinity the graph is like that. The graph is like that, where the topmost point indicates the lambda infinity. Okay. So strong electrolytes, we know that it is completely ionized, and for strong electrolytes lambda m, that is molar conductivity, increases slowly with dilution. It is not, it is opposite to the weak electrolytes. So for the from the Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation, this is Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation, lambda m equal to lambda m infinity minus a plus b lambda 0 a plus b lambda 0 or lambda infinity into root over of c. Lambda m, this is molar conductivity, this is molar conductivity at infinite dilution, but it is equal for all concentration. In case of strong electrolytes, a plus b lambda infinity within bracket root over of c. In the case of dilution, there is a decrease in the ionic attraction, hence molar conductivity increases with decrease in concentration. Molar conductivity increases with decrease in concentration. Complete the equation. PbS plus O3, lead sulfide plus O3. What is the product? And HCF6 plus NaF. The second one is very important. PbS plus O3 and HCF6 plus NaF. First one is easier. What is the answer for first one? What is the answer for the first one? It is the oxidizing agent. PbS will be converted to lead sulfate, PbSO4. And in the second one, it is the formation of NaHCF6. In the second one, it is the oxidizing agent. It will form PbSO4 plus oxygen, and it is NaFeX7. NaHCF7, Na plus HCF7 minus. Next, arrange the following in increasing order of property indicated, giving reasons. Hydride of group 15 boiling points. Hydrides of group 15 boiling points. Group 15, that is the nitrogen group. With boiling point group 15 hydride. So, in the group the compounds are nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Now, we have to arrange it with increasing order of their boiling point. Now, here the prime factor will be the van der Waals attractive force. Van der Waals attractive force. So, with respect to this, if we compare, as it increases with the size, but in case of NH3, due to presence of some bonding, that is in NH3 it is abnormality will be seen, but the rest of the compounds, the PH3, SH3 and SbH3 will follow the trend. So, what would be the trend? That at first it is the PH3, then ASH3, then SbH3, then NH3. After that it is BiH3. It is due to the van der Waals force of action. Okay. So this is the question, that arrange the group 15 elements hydride with respect to its boiling point. Next question is that hydrides of group 17 acidic strength, hydrides of group 17 acidic strength, group 17. So group 17, that is F, so H2F, HF, HCl, HBr, HI. Acidic strength, so acidic strength order as the force of interaction in between the particles. So HI increasing order, so HF is the least acidic, then it is HBr, then HCl, and then HI. Now due to some interactive forces, the HCl having shown some abnormalities here. So HF, HBr, HCl, HI. This is due to the HX dissociative force. Number 3 is that arrange the hydrides of group 16 reducing character. Group 16 reducing character hydrides. Now what are these? So H2O, now reducing character will increase with the, again with the large size of tellurium. Here no abnormality is seen, as it depends on the size of the central atom and the bonds become weaker. So H2TE is having the highest reducing character. So the order is, the increasing order is H2O less than H2S less than H2AC less than H2TE. These are very important questions. First one for group 15 hydrides with their boiling point. The second one, that is group 17 hydrides with their acidic strength, and third one group 16 hydrides with their reducing character. So the priority factor is that van der Waals force, and the abnormality is any kind of interactive force within the molecule, that is here in case of NH3 and here in case of HCl. For this there is a certain break in the order. This is the question from p block elements with their property. Okay. Another one question is there. This is the from transition element, that is MnO2 plus KOH plus O2. MnO2 plus KOH plus O2. This is one. Next one is I minus plus MnO4 minus plus H plus. I minus plus MnO4 minus plus H plus. This is number 2. And number 3 is Cr2O7 2 minus plus SN2 plus plus H plus. First one. First one is MnO2. Now MnO2 is black in color, but when it would treated with KOH and oxygen, then it will convert to one salt, that is K2MnO4. Okay. So, from manganese dioxide to K2MnO4, it will be formed, and the rest product is H2O. Change in the oxidation state, this is plus 4, this is plus 6. Next one, I minus plus MnO4 minus plus H plus, that is if we take Ki solution and MnO4 minus and H plus, then it is formation of Mn2 plus. It is the formation of Mn2 plus, and I minus will be converted to iodide, that is the color of the solution will be of deep purple color, that is the color of iodine, and the byproduct is H2O. Obviously, you have to balance the equation. If you balance it, then the balancing factor is 10I minus plus MnO4 2 plus 16 H plus. It will produce 2Mn2 plus 5I2 plus 16H, that is 8H2O. Okay. Next one, dichromate. So, dichromate is an oxidizing agent. Sn2 plus will be oxidized here to form one compound in presence of acid. Now, Sn2 plus will convert to Sn4 plus. This Sn2 plus will convert to Sn4 plus, and dichromate here it is in plus 7 oxidation state. It will be converted to Cr3 plus, that is Cr2 O3, chromic oxide, and the byproduct is H2O. The balancing factor here, that is 3Sn2 plus and 14H plus, 3Sn4 plus 7H2O. These are very important. So, first one is the oxidation of manganese from plus 2 to plus 6. Second one, iodine from minus 1 to 0, that is oxidation. Here oxidation of Sn2 plus to Sn4 plus. This is also the question from transition element. Another one question. Okay, one explanation type question, that above 1000 K sulfur shows paramagnetism. Above 1000 K sulfur shows paramagnetism. Why? Now, at 1000 K, what happened, that it forms one dimer forming S2. Now, when dimer is formed on molecular form, then there is the formation of molecular orbital, and it is seen that here is the lone electron is there, the singly occupied electron in the molecular orbital. For this it is shows paramagnetism. Next is that although the electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less negative than that of chlorine, yet fluorine is a better oxidizing agent than chlorine. Why? Fluorine is a better oxidizing agent than chlorine, but the electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less negative than that of the chlorine. Because of its high hydration energy, which is compensated by the effect of the others. Fluorine having the strong hydration energy which should be compensated by others. Number 3, in solid state PCl5 exists as an ionic compound. PCl5 in solid state as an ionic compound for the formation of two polar ion, that is two molecules of PCl5 will form, one is PCl4 plus, another one is PCl6 minus. So, for this it is having in ionic form. So, these are the explanation type question from there. Okay, one last question. From the colloid that leather gets hardened after tanning. Leather gets hardened after tanning. Why? In the process of, this is due to in the from the colloid, okay, it is hardened because of colloidal nature of animal skin have positively charged particles, and when tanning is going on, as it is having the negatively charged colloid particles, which when combines leather get hardened. So, the combination of one positive ion and another one negative ion during tanning. Next one question is that ferric chloride is preferred over KCl in case of a cut leading to bleeding. Why? Ferric chloride having better coagulation efficiency. If you check, the valency of iron is +3, but it is +1. Thus, there was a rule, that is the value that is depends on the valency of the cation present. Here, due to higher valency, iron is more efficient in coagulation. Next one, Friendly's isotherm becomes independent of pressure at high pressure for a gas absorbed on a solid. Friendly's isotherm become independent of pressure at high pressure for a gas absorbed on a solid. So, Friendly's isotherm is the log x by m. X by m equal to the extent of adsorption equal to log k plus 1 by n log p. This is the Friendly's adsorption isotherm. Now, when x by m is the extent of adsorption, so x by m varies on per unit mass. X by m is the amount of gas adsorbed per unit mass of the adsorbent. So, at high pressure, that is P value, that is x by m proportional to P0, that is at high pressure x by m is proportional to P0. So, x by m equal to Kp0. Okay. So, from there the question was independent of pressure at high pressure. Now, at high pressure, what happened? This is the log x by m versus log p curve. Now, this is log k. So, at high pressure, this tends to constant, x by m tends to constant, because p to the power 0 1. So it is K, so overall the x by m is going to be constant. So for this reason, at high pressure it is independent of the pressure, and then the curve flattens about, so it shows the independency of the pressure on the curve. Okay. Okay, so that's all for today's class. We will meet again on the next